Well, hello, and welcome to the first official episode of With Purpose. I'm Ben Hutton, and this is your podcast where we learn a little bit together, and then we plan our week ahead, all with purpose. I have spent the last few years developing this own planning system and methodology for myself, and I think it can be a benefit for you. You know, I take my role as a father and a husband and a business owner and a community member seriously, and I want to make sure that all of the effort I put into everything I do is actually impactful, and that I'm not just spinning my wheels. And so I take a moment every Thursday to plan my week ahead. I like doing it on Thursdays because it helps me finish the week strong and sets me up for the week that's coming, while putting the weekend, the most important time I have with my family and friends, right in the center where I think it should be. So linked in the show notes is a planner that you can use to follow along with me when we get to that part of the podcast. But first, I want to dive into this week's lesson where we're talking about one of my favorite books, Great by Choice. Now, I have read a lot of Jim Collins' work, probably all of it. I'm guessing a lot of you have as well. He is an amazing author. But Great by Choice is actually my favorite of his works because of some of the concepts he goes over. But today, we're actually going to start at the end because I think some of the most powerful words that he shares in this book are actually in the epilogue. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this to you, so bear with me for just a minute, but it's just that good. He starts with this quote: "One should be able to see that things are hopeless and yet be determined to make them otherwise." That's by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Then Jim goes on. "We sense a dangerous disease infecting our modern culture and eroding hope, an increasingly prevalent view that greatness owes more to circumstance or even luck than to action and discipline. That what happens to us matters more than what we do. Now, in games of chance like lottery or roulette, this view seems plausible, but taken as an entire philosophy, applied more broadly to human endeavor, it's deeply debilitating life perspective, one that we can't imagine wanting to teach young people. Do we really believe that our actions count for little? That those who create something great are merely lucky? That our circumstances imprison us? Do we want to build a society and a culture that encourage us to believe that we aren't responsible for our choices or accountable for our performance?" And then he continues on just a little bit later. You know, life offers no guarantees. It's always possible that game-ending events and unbendable forces, disease, accident, brain injury, earthquake, tsunami, financial calamity, civil war, or any of 1,000 other possible events will subvert our strongest and most disciplined efforts. Still, we must act. When the moment comes, when we're afraid, exhausted, or tempted, what choice do we make? Do we abandon our values? Do we give in? Do we accept average performance because that's what everybody else accepts? Do we capitulate to the pressure of the moment? Do we give up on our dreams when we've been slammed by the brutal facts? And now this is my favorite part. He says, "We are not imprisoned by our circumstances. We are not imprisoned by the luck we get or the inherent unfairness of life. We are not imprisoned by crushing setbacks, self-inflicted mistakes, or our past success. We are not imprisoned by the times in which we live, by the number of hours in a day, or even the number of hours we're granted in our very short lives. In the end, we can control only a tiny sliver of what happens to us. But even so, we are free to choose, free to become great by choice." I just love that. I love that we have agency and that Jim Collins is challenging us to take hold of it and to recognize it, to believe in that, and to act like it. I think as I look across society, so often we see people that have chosen to become, instead of great, they've chosen to become victims of those circumstances. I love the words he uses. We are not imprisoned. We are not held back unless we choose to be. So one of the other concepts that he talks about in his book, Gray by Choice, is this concept of return on luck. So they did this big study, and all of us experience luck. Good luck and bad luck. Who luck, even, is something he talks about. But all of us experience luck. What separated some people that experienced great things in their life, or others that did not, was what they termed return on luck. Or essentially, how prepared are you to take advantage of situations when good things happen? Or how prepared are you to pivot and change course when bad things happen? This idea of return on luck puts the control over our lives back in our own hands. We recognize that things are going to happen. Sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad, but the control is still ours. How are you thinking about how you will respond next time you get lucky? So, as a reminder, we have a special planner for each of our episodes available for you to download, either linked in the show notes or available on my website at benhutton.com. For each of these questions, we are going to give you about 30 seconds to process them. If you need some more time, just hit the pause button. So let's move into our planning time together now. Like always, we are starting with gratitude. Thinking back over this last week, what are you grateful for? Was there a special moment with your spouse or your child? Was something great going on at work? Did you have a big win? What are you grateful for? And maybe next up, what are the things on your to-do list that you've been dreading, that you've put off for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row now, and you just need to get done? We've all got those things. Write them down and commit to do them this week. And now that we've got a foundation of gratitude established and some of those things that we've been dreading out of the way, let's dive into thinking about what we learned from Jim Collins this week. The first question is this: where have you let this, what he calls a debilitating disease of believing you are trapped by your circumstances, hold you back? Write it down right there in the box. Second question: what can you do today to prepare yourself for when good or bad luck comes your way? Is it already here? Is it staring you right in the face? Is there an opportunity to take advantage of this coming week? So that's it for this week on With Purpose. I hope you'll take a minute now and plan your week ahead so that when that starts, whether that's in a few days or in a few minutes, you are moving into it with intention and on purpose, doing everything with purpose, not just responding to whatever's coming at you. You know, if you like this podcast, I hope you'll tell your friends about it. I hope you'll hit the like or subscribe button. And I hope I'll see you next week, right here, where we'll be back with another episode of With Purpose.